about you? I find letting go hard. But particularly people, I remember when our kids were younger, they went off to preschool kindy a couple of days a week. That wasn't so bad. School was a new thing. It was to take them to the gates. They'd already had an orientation. Take them to gates and let them be. They would walk through those gates into a new world. More than preschool, kindy or any of that. This was the beginning of growing in new ways, learning new things, not just in the classroom but with other children. They were entering a new world, a world where we couldn't be there to protect or ensure everything was okay. It's a handing over and a letting go, and a trusting that what you put into your children in the early years of their lives, what you put into them at home will hold them in this bigger world that they're entering into. And of course, every stage is a new thing. High school, leaving home, uni, whatever. I remember after our children started, I was involved in P&C, and for the orientation sessions for new parents, they'd come along, and the principal and deputy principal and so on would give an overview of what would happen. And then parents, P&C members, canteen, uniform shop, P&C, engagement, we give a parent's perspective. Some of the things that parents need to know. But I always remember the deputy principal would be very strict and very strong in saying, look, on the first day of school, we want you to bring your child, prepare their lunch and everything, extra jacket, whatever they need, in their bag. You bring them to the school gate, you give them a kiss or a hug, whatever you need to do, and then you let them go by themselves. We'll have people there. If they're a bit upset, we will take them. You have to let go and trust us. And I know that many parents found that difficult. Incredibly difficult, the letting go and trusting that their child would be okay. Letting go is never easy. I've sat in many hospital rooms when people are dying, and in the lead up, knowing that the end of life is soon, they will say things, they will express hopes or dreams or fears or concerns. Mostly people are concerned about those they're leaving behind, that they will be okay, that they will cope with this death, that they will be alright without me. Particularly where the person dying has had a strong role in maybe not protection but care and nurture and support. Will the family, those left behind be okay? It's never easy. This week, in our story from the Gospel, John 17, it's Jesus' final prayer. And it's obviously written many decades after Jesus. And John is writing in a particular context of his community, who are in the midst of the world and struggling with the realities of the world and the pressures and the forces on them, the struggles and with the Jewish community, with the Roman community. Where are they in this world? And in this prayer, Jesus begins by praying for himself, but then prays for these disciples, these followers of his that have been given into his care, if you like. And he says in this prayer, I have made you known, God. My role was to open up to them a new way, a new world, a world where they could experience and encounter you and your love, the love at the heart of all things, the one who holds everything grace and love and justice. I opened that up to them. I revealed you. In experiencing me, my life, my teaching, who I am, they experienced you. My prayer is that that gateway, that openness, that heart of love will remain open. That doorway into your love and grace will remain open. That you will hold them and protect them and keep them. And that what I've started, you can continue and hold them. They can continue and you will hold them in that. I pray that they will be one, just as you and I are one, just as we are one in a relationship of love. May they be one, in you, in me, together. It's not a unity of belief systems, it's not a unity of being the church, it's not a circle your wagons, protect yourself from the world kind of unity. It's a unity of being in God, which opens us up to a new way of thinking and seeing in the world. Jesus is saying they've learnt from me, they've learnt my way, which is your way of love. Help them to remain strong in that, not to be seduced, tempted, whatever, by the world's priorities and ways. The ways of violence and conflict and power over. The ways of building barriers between tribes and peoples, the ways of conflict and exclusion. But may they be one in love, love that holds them and opens them up to the world around them. Don't take them out of the world, but lead them into your world, that they may be salt and light and yeast, shining and reflecting your light for everyone to see, being instruments of peace, channels of peace and love, your love flowing through them into the world. May they always live in you, just as I've helped them to understand, and just as I've lived in you. These are quite profound words. These are Jesus letting go of his disciples and allowing them to be, trusting that they can become in God's love everything that they can be, that they can know and understand this love in the deepest way possible, and in so doing be freed to be who they are in God. And this unity that he prays for is one of a unity of love, of justice, of hope, of peace, that's not exclusive to the group that believes the same things, but is open to the whole world. That is a transformative love that transforms the world in the grace and love of God, the way it was intended to be, but the way we so often ignore or reject in pursuing violence or power or greed or division or separation. Jesus' way is to break down barriers and open the way for everyone to belong, to find their true selves in this freedom of community, of love and grace, and to contribute so that everyone has their place and their part and contributes to the greater good and the whole. This is Jesus' prayer. This is his last words. This is him standing at the school gate and sending the disciples off into this world and saying, I'm with you in spirit. Everything I've taught, everything I've lived, everything I've demonstrated, I give to you. Take it and use it. And may the blessing and strength, the power of God and God's Spirit be with you, because you're going to need it. I don't know about you, for me though, that in our world today is a blessed hope, a prophetic word, a word that touches me, that this is the most important thing our world needs. The unity of love, of humanity understanding that we're all one. We're all human beings created in the image of God. We all bleed the same colour. We all have mothers and fathers who love us. We all have children we love. We all hurt. We all cry. We all laugh. We're all human beings created in this love of God. And God welcomes us into that family of God to experience and live in that love and live in the freedom that that love brings to everyone. That's the power of these words, and that's the vision behind them, and that's the vision we're called into to live, to rejoice in, to proclaim. And it is joyful. In the midst of deep pain and suffering, there is a strength and a joy that can sustain us. In our grief, in our helplessness, in our powerlessness, in our joy and hope and fun and love, this joy remains, and the love is at the heart of everything. May God be with us all as we walk this journey into the life that Jesus has prayed for us, into the life that He's given, into the freedom of the life in God. Amen.